Let's go out of my comfort zone and do a full face of natural makeup. So something about me, if you are one of my followers, you know that I love a full glam look, and I have been wearing full glam makeup pretty much every single day of my life since I was a teenage girl. When I go out and about, I try to wear less for modesty purposes, but because my followers are all women and I'm mostly at home as a stay-at-home mom, there's no real issue of me wearing super heavy makeup because it's just women who see it and then my husband who sees it. However, as I get older, I am noticing that the heavy makeup ages me a little bit. I used to also be a matte girl, like matte foundation, matte everything, matte, matte, matte. And now I'm seeing, as I get close to my 30s, matte is not always the best option if you're starting to get fine lines and wrinkles. So a little bit about how I got into makeup is when I was about 12 years old, I just started wearing like clear mascara and eyeliner. And really I started doing it because all the other girls were starting to wear clear mascara and like a little bit of eyeliner on the waterline. That was kind of like what everybody wore at that age, especially back in like the 2000s. But it also quickly became something that I got very comfortable doing, and I found it to be a form of artistic expression. But also I was much older looking just naturally. I'm about 6 feet tall, and I was around that height when I was 12 years old, already went through puberty. I started to discover that when I wore fancier makeup, I got approached a lot less by men. Now, although I am religious, Orthodox Jew now, I was not always that way, and I was brought up secular. And I got approached a lot less by men because I was more unapproachable. So as the years went by, it just got heavier and heavier, and it became like a second skin, sort of. So now that I am an Orthodox Jew, and my husband has been teaching me that when you're out and about, it's better to wear less for modesty purposes, I am trying to make it a goal of mine that I should wear a little bit less, you know? Or at least be comfortable with wearing less when I'm out of the house. And I've discovered that if you really like putting on makeup, but you just want it to look more natural, you can do that. You can wear a lot of makeup and just have it look natural. And that's kind of my goal with this look today. I want to feel like I'm wearing a good amount of makeup, but I just want it to look more natural. It doesn't mean it has to be one of those makeup looks that it's like you're not wearing anything. Like, I want there to be something, you know? Those of you that don't know, I actually worked as a makeup artist for quite a while. I also worked in places like Sephora back before I was religious. And once I became religious, I took my skills and applied them to working with religious Jewish women to create makeup looks for things like weddings, which we call a chatuna, or for different smachot, meaning joyful events like vorts, which would be an engagement party, and things of that nature. I found that although I enjoyed what I was doing, it was just so competitive and it just wasn't really for me. And as a mom of 2 small children, I'm not comfortable leaving the house and leaving them with babysitters for an extended period of time so I can work. It's partially why I work as a content creator, because I can just stay home and film content when my kids are sleeping. When I did work as a makeup artist, though, one of the things that women requested a lot was like a natural face. And because I am so into glam looks, I just had a really hard time providing them with that. A lot of things that I did needed adjusting, or things had to be fixed a little bit here and there. That was okay. Like, I wanted my clients to feel comfortable, but I just started to realize over time that I have done this so much, this full glam look, that I don't really even know how to do a natural face anymore. Like, I start out trying to do natural, doing natural makeup and like I do a small wing and then I make it a little bigger. And then I'm like, wait, I'm not used to seeing myself without like so much. And then just gradually it just builds up and builds up and builds up. And then I'm just like, what am I even doing anymore? Like, I remember I had a roommate at one point before I was married. And I told her, I said, oh, I'm just gonna do like a little bit of makeup. Like, you know, I'm just gonna do a really natural look. And like 2 hours later, I started out natural, but then like 2 hours later, I had on like a full face of like Urban Decay heat palette and eyeliner out to here. And she was just laughing at me, but I was like, you know, this isn't good. I need to also naturally embrace myself, especially as I get older. This highlighter, I'm addicted to this highlighter, the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in the shade Moonstone by Haus Labs. This is like the best highlighter in the world. It's so good, and a little bit goes a long way. I think that in this generation, there's so many girls that have grown up seeing women so done up and so made up and photoshopped and filtered. It's not healthy. So as an influencer, I also want to show girls that they can be pretty naturally, and quite honestly, I think most people prefer more natural looks. We're also seeing a resurgence of a like for natural because it is easier to do, it's less time consuming. Well, it is easier to do and less time consuming if it's what you do a lot. If, however, you're like me and you get in the habit of a full face, it's not exactly the easiest thing to do because you're trying to break a habit. So now we're getting to the part where I struggle a lot. The eyeliner. I have an urge to always go way overboard with the eyeliner, but all I really need is a very delicate little wing. Use this fallout, but I just have to tell myself this is all I need. I'm going in with the Pat McGrath Labs Dark Star Mascara in the shade Extreme Black. Okay, moving on to blush. I'm using this Milani Baked Powder Blush in the shade Luminoso. Now I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Liner in the shade Parchment. Now I'm applying this Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Kim KW. Now I'm just gonna go clean up some of my lines. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Bye.